Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, hello, my name is Sammy, and today I have a speed build for you guys, but it's actually for The Sims 4. So usually I don't really do speed builds for Sims because honestly I just struggle when it comes to the architecture or like shape of the building or rooms. So you can see that in the beginning I kind of struggled with that, but I decided to just give it a shot this time. So this build that I am doing or decorating for this apartment is like how my thumbnail says, it's a pretty and pink pastel apartment. So I really just wanted to use the Dream Home Decorator items. These items might be like one of my favorite items out of all the packs, other than cottage living of course. But I just love the color of the items and the different styles that it has. So I really wanted to use the pink, and I also include the purple variation of these couches. You'll see that later on, but that was the living room that I just designed. It was just very simple. And for the dining room, I just wanted a simple table with the chairs from the Dream Home Decorator pack. And moving on to the kitchen, I know this is a kind of fast-paced speed build. It wasn't really, well, it didn't really take that much to decorate it because it's such a small space. But I mainly just used the Dream Home Decorator pack for the whole build. So here I was trying to figure out how to make an island with being able to fit in the kitchen area. Oh, so here you can see that I used the purple variation. So I really liked that next to the pink. So I changed the couches in the living room to that same color. But yeah, I really struggled with the shape of the kitchen because it's so small. I still wanted it to be playable for your Sims if you want to download this from the gallery. I'll make sure to put my gallery ID down in the description below. But I decided to use the light colored variation of the cabinets. I think it works really well with the pink and purple colors of the couches and chairs. And honestly, I like really love the rose gold that came with this pack, like with the handles on the cabinets as well as the mini what is it, microwave or oven, something like that. But yeah, the stovetop is a really nice color too. Like, I'm a big fan of the rose gold that this has. But yeah, I'm just adjusting little things. Usually for my builds, both in Animal Crossing and in Sims, I try to put down like all the big furniture first, and then I like to put little accents later. So for the flooring, I decided to go with a dark wood flooring. I thought it would match, or it would be a nice contrast between the pink and purple, because I guess it's kind of like the couches. It has that purple with that dark brown wood. I just thought that if I made the flooring as a light wood, it would kind of be too light compared to it. So I just wanted a really good contrast for that. And I absolutely love the wallpaper, the brick wallpaper that came with Cottage Living, so I decided to use that here. So I also wanted to add a little fireplace, but obviously I couldn't use the big ones that majority of the packs come with. So I'm glad that I have the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack, because that little fireplace is definitely a lifesaver, especially when you're working with apartments and small spaces. So here I'm just trying to put an accent table in the corner. I tried to steer away from using the Dream Home Decorator table and to try something else like from the Eco Lifestyle, but it just wasn't working out. And I love adding plants to apartments, or any of my builds actually. I always add plants. I wish I was a plant mom myself, but usually when I try to take care of plants, it doesn't really end well. I don't really have much of a green thumb in real life. But I do have a succulent that my friend gave me. It kind of looks like a bear paw, but it's really cute, but it has very low maintenance. I don't even have to water it every day. So that wall that I just put the bookcase on, you'll see me later. I realized that I didn't place a door for the bedroom that's in that corner, that's in that weird like L-shaped design. So here's where I noticed that, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't put a door. So I had to move the bookcase over, but it kind of worked out. I ended up really liking how it looks, and it's a very small, cozy apartment, but I tried to think of it as the sim not being too much of a clutter type of person. They're very neat, so you don't see a lot of clutter in the area. I usually, for my builds, like if you've seen my stop motion builds, I always have clutter all over the place, but I tried to minimize that for this. So here I'm just trying to figure out what I can put on this wall without it looking too empty. So I decided to go with some shelving, and I just did like minor clutters. This painting from Eco Lifestyle I think is like one of the best clutter pieces I've ever seen. It's just so simple, and I know the shadow kind of bothers me because it's supposed to be a bigger painting, but eventually I move it towards the left and it doesn't look too bad because it's next to the light, or that lampstand. So yeah, see, I decided to move it over and the shadow doesn't seem that bad. But now I'm starting to clutter the place with a little bit more stuff. And of course I have to use the handy dandy red shelf. I'll make sure to link the description down below for where I download the red shelf from if you don't already use that. It's definitely a lifesaver when you're trying to decorate on top of shelves and like tables and stuff. So it still looked a little bit empty, so I decided to add another shelf and just a little bit more clutter. And I really wanted to use that blanket basket thing. I just thought it's a very cozy thing to have in your apartment. I don't live in an apartment. I live in a house, or like I rent a part of a house, but I just think that every living room should have like a little blanket. So here in the kitchen, we're just adding a bit more clutter. So I'm just decorating the walls just to give it a little bit more character to it. Yeah, so I kind of imagine my sim that's gonna live here to be kind of like not too much of a neat freak, but she doesn't like too much clutter. So I kind of left the counters a little bit bare. There's only like a few items on there, or like necessary things. And rather than a coffee machine, I decided that I wanted to give her the tea machine because she just seems that type. But obviously my sim loves the color pink and purple and everything pastel. So I'm just cluttering this counter just a little bit with the jars from the cottage living pack and the cookie jar. I think that cookie jar is super cute. That little detail of the lid being on the side and having the cookies showing, I thought that was so cute. So now we're moving on to the bedroom. I really wanted to use the purple variation of the bed from the Dream Home Decorator pack. I just love the pattern of the leaves on it. And I was trying to figure out how to put a desk area in here because obviously there isn't one in the living room because there's no space there. But I decided to just put it in that corner. And actually all of these, or everything in this build, in this apartment, is functional. So your sim can actually sleep in that bed, they can sit on the chairs, they can read the books from the bookshelf. Yeah, so it's all playable. So if you decide to download this from the gallery, you can go ahead and do that, and they'll be able to, it'll work fine basically. Even this closet space that I made from the Dream Home Decorator pack, if you click on the clothing or even the dresser, it'll allow you to change or like make your sim flirty by trying on outfits. I try to always play test everything to make sure that it's all available to you and your sim, because that's usually my goal when I try to do builds. Unless it's like single rooms, that's the only time that I would make things non-functional, or when I'm like decorating or designing rooms for challenges that people make on Instagram or on Twitter or anything, or on YouTube. I think it's really fun to take part in those challenges. So as you can see, I'm using like all the items from the Dream Home Decorator pack. It's just such a good pack. Like, I really love the colors and the different styles that it has. So here, I really wanted to use that, I think it's from the City Living pack, that bookshelf, but the blue or the white stands it just wasn't working out with this room. It was too bright for it. So I decided to just use the same black shelf that I did in the living room. And I'm using these cute bunny books from the Cottage Living pack, and just adding a few more decoration and boxes at the top just to fill the space. So I imagine that this sim, she's still going to school. Although I don't have that pack, I don't have the Discover University pack. I'm still trying to make my way through getting different packs, but I just imagine that this sim is still going to school, so the way I decorated around the table is more for like a student where she's going for interior designing or something. I even put like a backpack, I put the binders there. Yeah, that red shelf is definitely handy. So here you can see I'm putting the backpack. It definitely looks like it's for a student now when you put that kind of stuff as clutter. But it's good because that was basically my intention for this build. I think this is like the most cluttered part of the house. And then to finish off that little area, I'm just putting a little rug. And this part of the room, I definitely struggled with. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't think of how to decorate this. I did want to put the corkboard there, but for some reason, I just couldn't find the postcards that go on it. So after a while, I kind of just gave up on that and decided to put something else. I did include like kind of like the fairy lights at the top, because I'm I'm a fan of lights. Like, if you saw my house, like, I have lights in the bedroom, I have lights around my computer desk and around the area where I keep my plushies. If you've seen my Animal Crossing videos and you saw my background, yeah, I have lights there too. I'm just a big fan of fairy lights and all of that stuff. So you saw me place that succulent display thing on the wall. So I've been trying to use that item like all throughout the build. I was trying to place it in different parts, but I'm glad I finally was able to place it in the bedroom. I think it's a nice item to have, and the wood color of it matches the tables from the dining room and the floor or the carpet that's in the living room. I don't usually mix match dark and light tones when it comes to wood patterns, but I thought it worked really well here. And this small area is the laundry room. Who doesn't love a good laundry room in an apartment? I'm not a big fan of doing laundry in real life, like in general. I always forget to like either take it out of the dryer, or it takes me a day or two to fold my laundry. I don't know, it's just not something that I feel like is a priority until I have to look for something that's in the laundry. But I do love the laundry in the game, especially the furniture. I think it looks really cool. And here I wanted to have a little entryway, so I wanted to use that hanging coat and hat combination. But I end up changing it a little. Oh, here you'll see me trying to look for the purse from Cottage Living, the debug item, but I could not for the life of me find it. I didn't know where it was, but I finally found it and then I placed it. It was like the only thing that I placed on the table. Was it that necessary? Probably not, but it's okay. I worked hard to find it, so I was just gonna keep it there. So I decided to move the coat and hat a little bit more because I wanted to add a mirror. I think it makes sense to have a mirror at the entryway because you want to see if you look good like when you leave the house, right? So I just thought that it was good to have that mirror there. And then here we're working on the bathroom. It's just a small, simple bathroom. We just have the bathtub, a plain sink, and we're using the counter from the Dream Home Decorator pack, the one that's that I used for the kitchen. But yeah, there's not really much going on in the bathroom. It's just very simple, not too much going on. I think I add a towel. Yeah, I add a towel by the bathtub because that makes sense, right? You need a towel by the bathroom. And then a bathrobe, and then I added a rug, also from the Dream Home Decorator pack, the same one I used in the bedroom. And then I went ahead and used the spa day flooring, and I think even the wallpaper. Yeah, the wallpaper too. I don't know, the flooring and wallpaper from Spa Day is actually really nice. I just recently got that pack and I was pleasantly surprised by what they had to offer in that pack. But usually before I buy a pack, I like to research what kind of items are in there, because honestly I wouldn't buy a pack if I wouldn't use the items. But this is pretty much done. I just have to add the light to the closet, but other than that, we're done, and you can go ahead and look at the screenshots next. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Bye.